Joining us now to talk more about this, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, is Kenneth Harper, Microsoft's head of product, Dragon. Good morning.
Good morning, Trinity. So glad to be here.
It's great to have you on the show this morning. Dragon Copilot builds on Microsoft's existing dictation and ambient listening solutions, right? But what makes this new AI assistant a game changer for clinicians?
Yeah, Trinity. I mean, we've had many of these speech and AI tools out there now for several years, where clinicians can have something on their side that's helping them do their job more effectively, which in turn allows them to actually focus much more of their time and energy on the patient. And so, Dragon Copilot, and what we just announced this week, is the next generation, where we're bringing many of these tools that we've had together into one work surface, while also introducing some new capability and some new tools. So with Dragon Copilot, you can dictate documentation. You can walk into a room and have an ambient conversation with a patient, and from the context of what you're discussing, get a full clinical note authored based on the context of what you're discussing with that patient. And then the new tool that we've added is actually this natural language tool, where you can simply just ask a question of the system or ask it to do something in your own language, and then we can go and complete that task for you on your behalf. And so Dragon Copilot, think of it as it's now the most comprehensive Copilot, most comprehensive voice assistant that we're now making available to our healthcare workers.
And you bring up a good point, because clinician burnout, it's a major issue, especially in this sector, with doctors spending nearly 28 hours a week on administrative tasks. How does Dragon Copilot directly address this challenge?
Yeah, Trinity. I mean, one thing I would just say is, in the last few years, we've actually seen some reduction in some of the burnout that we know is systemic in our healthcare system today. And I think that's largely a reflection of some of these tools that have been made available. But you're right, there's still so much more opportunity for improvement. So Dragon Copilot is really intended to provide a broader set of tools and skills that can allow clinicians to focus even more on the patient and make them even more efficient at their job. And so just a couple of examples, the ambient tool that's in Dragon Copilot, we know that saves on average 5 minutes in documentation time for every patient that the provider is seeing. So you think about a full caseload throughout the course of a week, we're talking about saving hours of time that clinicians can have back to either spend more time on other workflow tasks or see a few more patients a week to improve access to care. This is really going to drive even more efficiency into the healthcare organization.
What's been your feedback so far? Have you received any from early adopters like WellSpan Health, and how has it influenced the tools of development?
Yeah, there's just so much excitement about having more of these tools available to take on other tasks, like after visit summaries, referral letters, being able to ask a question and get an answer back from a medically certified content source. But Trinity, one of the things, as I talk to clinicians, one of the things that always really stands out to me is just the visceral and emotional impact that these tools have on their experience, where they're now getting their life back. You hear testimonials around clinicians that can now go home and spend time with their family for the first time. They can go to their kid's soccer game. One specific testimonial that really has always stuck out with me is a clinician once said, with the ambient tool that's in Dragon Copilot as an example, I was able to go in, hold my patient's hand, look at them in the eyes, and tell them that they have cancer, but we're going to get through this because it's a treatable form of cancer. And I really want them to know I'm here to help them through their treatment. And I wasn't able to do that before because I was so encumbered with other administrative work. And so these are some of the emotional reactions and emotional impacts that we know this technology can have on our healthcare workers.
Wow, that's incredible. And the tool rolls out in May in the US and in Canada to further expansion planned, and what long-term vision do you see for global adoption?
Yeah, we're just in the very first innings of this, to be honest. There's so much more that we can do. And so we have these tools in many markets today, and we're continuing to take Dragon Copilot and some of these capabilities and roll them out more broadly. But there's so much more that we're also going to be adding in to Dragon Copilot. One of the things that is really important on where we're going to take this is opening it up as an ecosystem. Microsoft, we're going to keep adding in more capabilities, more use cases, but we're not going to get to it all. There's so many of these workflows that we know we can help provide to providers. And so opening that Dragon Copilot up as an ecosystem sort of like the Apple model, where you have many, many developers coming in and building skills and specific services. This is something we're also going to be doing with Dragon Copilot, so that the innovation pace and the number of capabilities that are available to our healthcare workers just continues to go up every month, every quarter, every year.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. Kenneth Harper, Microsoft's head of product, Dragon, joining us all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. We appreciate you getting up bright and early for us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Trinity.